Kakalosh Boker Tov, we're just continuing with Daf Mem Aleph Amud Aleph, 41A1. We're talking about Erev Tisha B'Av. Yeah?
Sorry, I cut myself.
Tisha B'Av. That falls out on Shabbat. So you're allowed to eat and drink whatever you need, and you're going to be Maleh Shulchano, afilu like Sudat Shlomo Melech B'Shato, like Shlomo Melech in his proper time. Chaliot Tisha B'Av Be'erev Shabbat. If Tisha B'Av falls out on Erev Shabbat, so Mevin lo beitza ve'ochel, so he's going to eat a beitza, and he's going to eat the beitza before Shabbat, in order that he shouldn't go into Shabbat when he's me'uneh, when he's going to be afflicted. Tanya, we learned on the right, Amar Rabbi Yehuda, says Rabbi Yehuda, Pam achat hayinu yoshvin lifnei Rabbi Akiva, Tisha B'Av shechal yom Shabbat haya. We're sitting in front of Rabbi Akiva, and it was Erev Shabbat. It was Tisha B'Av that fell out on Erev Shabbat on Friday, and they brought him a beitza megugelet, a soft egg, begom'a b'lo melach, so he swallowed it without salt. V'lo sheyatev la, not because he was hungry, but to show them halacha. What was the halacha? The halacha was that you shouldn't go into Shabbat when you're going to be, right, when you're going to be suffering. Rabbi Yosef, and according to Shitat Rabbi Yosef, mitaneh umashlim. You're going to be mitaneh, you're going to do the ta'anit, and you're going to do the ta'anit until the nighttime. Okay? Fine, continuing. And this is where we stopped yesterday. Amar le Rabbi Yosef, says Rabbi Yosef, Iatem modim li b'tisha b'av shechal yot be'echad b'Shabbat. Don't we talk about that if Tisha B'Av falls out on Sunday, shemafsik mi b'od yom, you're not allowed to eat right after sunset, which means shekiah, during the day, you have to stop eating, and that's it. So amrulo, so they told him, aval, it's true. Malehem, so too, so he said to him, mali lekanes ba mishum muneh, mali letzeh ba mishum muneh. What's the difference to go into Shabbat when you're suffering, or to go out of Shabbat when you're suffering? Amrulo, they told him, ya marta letzeh mimena, shareacha v'shteko. What, to go out of it, you're eating and drinking the entire day. So, what are you talking about when you go in? When you're going to be afflicted, that you didn't go, that you were not eating and drinking the entire day. Ula says, that basically you have to wait until the Shabbat, and you're not allowed to eat before Shabbat. You have to go into Shabbat even though you're being tanit. So says the Gemara, when we have dinan Rabbi Yosef, do we do like Rabbi Yosef? Or minu, we have a contradiction. You're not allowed to be gozera ta'anit on tzibur, whether it's on Rosh Chodesh, Chanukah, or Purim. But if they already started the ta'aniyot, they don't stop the order. These are the words of Gamaliel. Even though Gamaliel says we don't stop it, he used to be modeh, that they wouldn't finish it. So you see from here, we don't do like Rabbi Yosef, because here it says that we are not going like Rabbi Yosef. So says the Gemara, Tanya, we learned in the Braita, after Rabbi Gamliel passed away, Rabbi Yoshua came in to go against the words of Rabbi Gamliel. So says Rabbi Yochanan Menudi got up on his legs and he said, yeah? So I think that we're going after the head, which means that we should go after the first words. All the days of Gamliel, we always said halakha is like him. Achshav, now, yeah? So he says over here, so he says like this, Achshav etam mevakesh levatel devarav. Now you're going to come and you're going to be mevatel his words. Yoshua en shomim lecha, we're not going to listen to you. Shekvar nikva lecha kam Gamliel, was we already pasken like Gamliel. Velo haya adam shirer b'dvar krum, and everybody held to do like Gamliel. Which means that if Tisha B'Av falls out on Erev Shabbat, we don't finish the ta'anit. Yeah, you don't finish the ta'anit. Aleph Amud Aleph, towards the middle. So says the Gemara, during the generation of Gamliel, they did like Gamliel. However, though, afterwards, in the door of Rabbi Yosef, they did like Rabbi Yosef. So says the Gemara, during the door of Gamliel, they did like Gamliel. But Tanya, we learned to the Braita. Rabbi Lazar, Rabbi Tzadok, says Rabbi Lazar, Rabbi Tzadok, Ani mi b'nei Sinaav ben Binyamin. I am from the Sinaav, from the tribe of Binyamin. Yeah? Pam achat Tisha B'Av Yom Shabbat. Right? Once happened, the Tisha B'Av fell out on Shabbat, and they pushed it to Sunday. Itaninu bo v'lo ishlamnu. So we started the Tanit, and we didn't finish. Yom Tov Ushalanu, because it was our Yom Tov. So Tama, the reasoning why. Okay, the only reason why is because it was Yom Tov. If it was an Erev Yom Tov, they do finish it off. So it says the Gemara, Shani Yom Tov shel divrehem, ito shemitanim oshaot. It's different than Yom Tov de Rabbanan, because that's like bringing Korban HaEtzim, because they're mitanim bo shaot. They're going to be oseh ta'anit shaot, which means only a few hours. So mashlimim bo arviyot. So they're going to be mashlim tzom Tisha B'Av when it comes out on the next day of the Motzei Yom Tov. Okay? So he says Shabbat, but on Shabbat you can't do ta'anit shaot. You can't start fasting for a few hours on Shabbat, right? So then they don't do tashlumim. They're not going to be mashlimim on Shabbat, because if they do that, so you're not allowed to fast on Shabbat even for part of the day. Okay, until here we're clear? Umar of Yosef, says of Yosef, Lo shmiya li hashmata, I didn't hear this braita. Amar le Abaye, Abaye says, you told it to us. Ve'ahamarta, you told it to us on this. En gozin ta'anit al tzibur, Rosh Chodeshim v'chulu beChanukah v'Purim. You're not allowed to make a gezerah on the tzibur to do ta'anit on Rosh Chodesh, Chanukah, and Purim. We said on it, Amar of Yudam Rav, these are the words of Ramid, that he said, Neiman Gamliel, B'chachamim, they say, Matanim Mushlim, you are allowed to start the ta'anit and allowed to finish it off. My love, Akulu, are we not talking about everything? So answers the Gemara, no, a Chanukah and Purim, which means that to do it ta'anit tzibur on Rosh Chodesh, Chanukah, and Purim, we're not going to be mashlimim. But Be'emet to do there of Shabbat, you do. Achanam Misabra, it's also logical to say that. Memalef Amubet, 41b. Okay, Memalef Amubet, 41b. So it says over here, we're just finishing the perek and then we continue. So it says, these sal kadayda, as if you're going to tell me a kulu that's going on everything. Habamine Rabba min Rav Yehuda v'lo pashale. It says, 1 second. Rabba asked this question from Rabbi Yehuda, that if you started a ta'anit on Erev Shabbat, you have to finish it or not. And, right, what did he say? He didn't answer it. So it says the Gemara, according to your reasoning, that which Marzuta was Doresh in the name of Ravuna, Halacha is mitaneh umishlim. The halacha is that you are mitaneh umashlim, that you do tanit and you finish off the tanit. Habamile Rava Ravuna, lo pashla, he didn't answer him. Elahar mikamed shamed is before he heard it and this is after he heard it. Achanami so to the same halacha here, this before he heard it and after he heard it. That is Marzuta mishmed Ravuna. The halacha is mitaneh umishlim. We do actually fast on Erev Shabbat. We're allowed to finish the fast. Hadran alach ba'kol me'aravim. Okay.
This year we have Shabbat.
Yeah. It can be, no? That's Rabbi Tevet is the only one. Yeah? Okay, very good. Because if it's Ta'anit Esther, so it means Purim would be on Shabbat. Purim can fall on Shabbat. Mm-hmm. So if it comes out, whether it's on Sunday or on Friday, then you would fast on Thursday. So there's not Rabbi Tevet, and Shiva Sabbath Tammuz and Tisha B'Av will not fall out on Erev Shabbat. Okay? Fine, next. We're starting the next chapter. Yeah, everyone has their seatbelts on. Alberto, yeah, the seatbelt.
This is
yeah, everyone has the seatbelts.
Sundays.
Yeah. This is Sundays. I'll tell you which day this is.
Don't be in such a big rush. Why do you have to be in a rush? Do it in 15 minutes.
No, we're actually off the chart.
Right.
Friday is Daf Mem. So this Shabbat. How could that be? Yeah.
Anybody?
So Kalkadosh, we're starting the new Perek, Mem Aleph Amud Bet. Misho Tziu Nochrim. Okay, somebody that the Goyim took him outside of the Tchum. Or Ruach Ra. Or all of a sudden Ashin Daled. Right? Some demon came inside of him, made him a little bit, crazy, and it took him out of the Tchum. And then he became cured. So now he's outside of the Tchum. En lo ela arba amot. He only has 4 amot. Okay? So that's it. He could only walk 4 amot. Because since he's already outside of the Tchum, he's not allowed to go anywhere. Echziru, if the Goyim brought him back inside, or the Ruach Ra brought him back inside the Tchum, Kilu lo yatzat. It's as if he never came out of the Tchum, and then he could go wherever he wants within his Tchum of Shabbat. The Goyim or the Ruach Ra took him to another city, or they put him into an animal barn, or besahar, or a place where they keep the animals in the city. Yeah. Rabban Gamliel Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah he's allowed to go the entire barn or the entire, I don't know how do you translate in English the difference between a deed and a sar. One of them is in the fields, right? So that's probably a barn. And the other one is in the city. Does it give you an English?
It says a fold or a corral. Enclosures used to hold animals.
Okay, so one is in the city, one is again a fold or a corral?
But the important point is it's bigger than 4 amos.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously. Right? What, you're going to put a cow in less than 4 amot? Yeah, one of these big ox. And they were talking about a few animals, not just one. Rabbi Yoshua Rabbi Kiva, Rabbi Yoshua Rabbi Kiva says, En lo el arba amot. Also there, he only has 4 amot. Much like that. Masechet Eruvin. So there was a story that these 4 Tanaim came from Pandarsin. It says over here, Pandarsin, Brindisi, whatever it is. Namal Romi, right, in the south of Italy. Okay, so it's like a Roman port in the south of Italy. So it says here, Vifliga Svinatam Bayam. And they're on Shabbat, their boats started going. So Rabbi Gamliel and Rabbi Yosef, they went the entire boat. Rabbi Yoshua, Rabbi Kiva, they didn't move from the 4 amot. But they wanted to be machmin on themselves, like their halakha, that they only have 4 amot. It also happened that they came until Erev Shabbat, that they didn't go in until nighttime. They told him, are we allowed to go down? He told them, you're allowed to. He says, I was already watching the tchum, and we were already within the tchum when it became nighttime. So therefore, you're allowed to go down. So Tanu Rabbanan, we learned to the right, that says the Gemara, there are 3 things which actually cause a person to go against Hashem, yeah, and to go against his own will. Yeah. So it's the goyim when they come and they cause suffering to Israel to go against the Torah. Ruach ra, when a person gets a ruach ra, or diktuke aniyut, when a person becomes so poor that he has nothing. Mamash, a person's so poor, it could make him go against his creator. So says the Gemara, l'may nafkamina. Right? Why do I have to teach this? In order that we know that we should pray for him. In order that we pray for him that he should be saved from these things. Shosha, there are 3 people, they don't see the face of Geinam. Right? Somebody that was mamash poor. Somebody that's sick in his stomach. Ve'arashut. Yeah, they have the cholim. Yeah.
And the creditors are always running after people.
Yeah, the creditors are running after them for the debts. Some people say also, a person that has a bad wife. Yeah, so I see a lot of people are smiling. I see that there's a lot of hope then. Yeah, so if somebody has a lot of bad wife, don't worry about it. You're not going to see Geinam. Yeah, you already have it in this world. You don't need it in the next world. Yeah, Vidach. And the other one, it says, Isha ra mitzvah legarsha. It says, no, if it's a bad woman, it's a mitzvah to divorce her. Vidach, in the other opinion, says, Zimnin diktuvatam rubah. Says, no, sometimes she has such a big ketubah, if you're going to divorce her, you're going to get into too much debt. Inami or, ile banim ineh. You have children from her. And you can't divorce her. Why? Because you can't raise all the kids on your own. So how are you going to divorce her?
Doesn't it say if she burns your eggs, you can divorce her?
Yeah, that's Shitat Bet Hillel.
No showing off.
But there's another. It's
the Gemara in Gitin, Daf Tzadi, 90A1.
But there's another dea about nida, no? You're allowed to divorce her, no?
About what?
About nida.
No, well, according to Shita Bet Shammai says you're allowed to divorce her if matzah ba'irvat davar, anything of immorality.
Okay.
So it says the Gemara, lemay nafkamina. What is the nafkamina now? Lekabul me'ava. To already know if a person has a bad wife, so if seosu mazal, he doesn't have a good mazal, accept it with happiness at least. At least you get Gan Eden. What are you all sad about?
When you get lemons, try to make a lemonade.
What's the name of the rabbi that had the bad wife?
I forgot.
John Jack, the one that had the bad wife, would always give him beans when he wanted something else.
Yeah, that's the Gemara in Ketuvot. I don't remember what his name was. Fine.
But that's good because you appreciate the good. When everything is acid, when the sweet is coming, you say, wow.
Okay. There's a Chatan classes. Shlosha metim kishen mesaprin. It says over here, there are 3 people that they pass away suddenly. Yeah, even when you don't realize that they're veluen chole me'ayin chaya is basically a woman that gives birth. It means it could be complications after the birth, and people don't even realize it, and boom, she drops dead. Or number 3, hidrokan. It's a certain type of a choli apeh.
God save us.
Choli apeh or choli abeten, I don't know. The
Swelling of the stomach. Dropsy.
right, dropsy. What's dropsy? I don't know.
Drukan.
Yeah. So he says, right? That these people, they should prepare for themselves their shrouds. Yeah? I see people like that as well. Fine. Amar Rav Nachman of Shmuel. It says Rav Nachman in the name of Shmuel. Yatsa ladat en lo el 400. If a person goes out of the tchum with his own knowledge, he only has 4 amot. So it says Ibn Pshita, obviously, Hashamishu, if the goyim took him out, he only has 4 amot. If he went on his own accord, for sure he only has 4 amot. Okay? So it says the Gemara, right? Elaima, but rather we have to say, Chazal ladat, if he came back knowingly, he only has 4 amot. Hanam yitirin. We also learned this. If the goyim brought him back, but it's only if they brought him back. If he went back on his own mind, for sure he only gets 4 amot. Laima, but rather you have to say yatzaladat. If he went out knowingly and the goyim brought him back, he only has 4 amot. But since he went out willingly, so he only has 4 amot. So says the Gemara, Hanan, we also learned that. They took him out and they brought him back in. It says that he didn't go out. But because it was against his will. But if he came back willingly, obviously he can do it. He doesn't get only 4 amot. So it says the Gemara, I would have thought to say, let's say you go on the side. If the goyim took him out and he came back on his own, he only gets 4 amot. But if he went out ladat and the goyim brought him back, it's as if he didn't go out. We don't say that. They asked from Rabba, what happens right now if a person went outside of the tchum, okay, but he needed to go to the washroom? Is he allowed to go outside of his 4 amot in order to do his necessities or not? Right? Amalei, he said, Gadol kavod habriyot shedochel atoseh sheb'Torah. Kavod habriyot is so important that it pushes off a negative commandment of the Torah. So here also, what if he's going to do his excrement, everything right beside himself? He's going to stay there all day. Imagine what it is. It's not kavod. It's not kavod habriyot. So he's allowed to go outside of the daladamot, do his excrement, do his necessities, and come back. Amir Nardai. If he was smart, he would go into the tchum. And once he went inside, he's already inside. So Amar of Papa says, whatever fruit that came out of the tchum and come back, even if it's going to be mezid, but you see them they're still going to be permitted. My time I was reasoning, because the fruits are anus, are honest, are force majeure. The fruits didn't go out willingly. Everything's against their will. So there's no problem. So 8 Rav Yosef bar Shemaya Rav Papa asked Rav Yosef bar Shemaya to Rav Papa. Rav Nechemia v'Rav Yaakov will say, Leolam Asurin, it's going to be prohibited until they come back accidentally. Shogeg on in only if it's accidentally. Bemezid lo, but not purposely. So says the Gemara, no, it's nahi, it's a machloket tanaim actually. Why? The time we learned to the right.
Well, how are the fruits going to come back accidentally? How does that happen?
The person brings it back accidentally.
How?
I forgot it was Shabbat, or I didn't know it was outside of the tchum.
Okay.
Yeah, the time we learned to the right. If they went out of the tchum b'shogeg, they're allowed to eat it in the new place. Mezid, if it was done purposely, they're not allowed to eat it. Right? Memet Amud Aleph, 41a. Rav Nechemia says, Bimkoman yachelu, in their place.
42a.
Sorry, 42a. I don't remember what I said. 42a. Okay? Rav Nechemia said, Bimkoman, in their place, yachelu, they're allowed to eat it. Shelo bimkoman, not in their place, lo yachelu, they're not allowed to eat it. So my bimkoman, what does it mean in their place? Ilema bimkoman, if you're going to say in their place, bemezi, that everything was done purposely, you learned to mefurash. Nechemia v'Rav Yaakov Omer, no, the Asurin is going to be prohibited until they come back shogegin. Only shogeg, yes. Accidentally, yes. B'mezid, no. Elalav, but rather, b'mkoman b'shogeg has to be brought back to its place by accident. And this is what it's lacking. Part of the bright. This is what it means to say. Yeah. Perot שיצאו חוץ לתחום בשוגג, right? If the perot come out of their place בשוגג, out of the tchum, you can be eaten. B'mezid, it cannot be eaten. But when one of these words, shelo b'mkuman, if it's not outside of the tchum. Aval b'mkuman, if it's within the tchum, even if it was done b'mezid, you're allowed to eat it. And Rav Nechemia comes to say, b'mkuman nami, even in the place, it's also the same halacha. Only by accident, not on purpose. So says the Gemara, no, that's not the machloket. Everybody agrees that if it was done b'mezid, right, it's going to be asur. But here, machloket is b'shogeg shelo b'mkomam. Tanakama savar, Tanakama holds b'shogeg shari shelo b'mkoman. B'shogeg is going to be permitted not in the place. And Nechemia savar, and Nechemia holds afilu b'shogeg, even b'shogeg. B'mkomam in shelo b'mkoman no. Right? If it's in its place, yes. Not in its place, no. Hami diktani seva, but that was a seva taught. Nechemia Eliezer ben Yaakov omrim Nechemia Eliezer ben Yaakov says, "L'olam asurim shechzuru b'mkoman shogin." It's going to be asur until they bring back, right, to the place by shogeg. Shogeg and mezilo. Kama savar b'mezid nami shari. So it comes out that the Tanakama holds that even b'mezid it should be permitted. Shema mina. So that's what we learn. Fine. Amar Rav Nachman Amar Shmuel. Yeah. Okay.
Somebody brings you something.
No, it's a little bit different. Here we're talking about the fruits. It's not exactly the exact same. There is a birul halacha on this in Shin Yuchet. Okay, fine. Let's go. Amar Rav Nachman Amar Shmuel. Says Rav Nachman name of Shmuel. Imagine a person is walking and he doesn't know when is the tchum of Shabbat. Okay, so he has to walk 2,000 regular footsteps, and that's the tchum Shabbat. If he was in the valley, now the Goyim come and they put like a wall around it on Shabbat. He's allowed to go only 2,000 amot. Right? However, though, he could throw from within it. He cannot walk within it. He could throw. Ravuna says, no, no, you could do 4 amot, kilo, there's no mechitzot.
No, you move.
No, you're allowed to go. But then you have 4 amot only.
4 amot to metaltel.
Yeah. Okay? Fine. So, Shema yimashech achar chevtzot. Now, it says the Gemara, why don't you just carry the entire time through zrikat, through throwing? So the Gemara answers, the reason why is because maybe you're going to go outside of the tchum also, and then it's going to be a problem. So says the Gemara, but 1 second, within the 2,000 amot, why can't you carry like normal? So answers the Gemara, it's like a mechitza which was placed, which was like open, right? And therefore it's going to be a asur. So 2 years, the same thing, you're not allowed to carry within it. Okay? Chia Barav says, do
you have any pictures of this? Any pictures? No pictures?
No.
Actually, it was Membet. 1 second. Chia Barav says, you're going to go 2,000 amot, you're going to walk 2,000 amot. You could carry 2,000 amot. Okay? I mean, basically, you could do everything normally, even without throwing it. You're not allowed to throw it outside of the tchum. So says the Gemara, Keman, who's this going like? It's not like Rav Nachman, not like Rav Huna. Okay? So why didn't you just say that you could carry it for amot? So says the Gemara, Yachi, if so then it is like Rav Huna. So says the Gemara, you're right. You have to say also Rav Chia Barav said the exact same halacha, which means that it wasn't like a third shita, it was the exact same shita like Rav Huna.
Rabbi, mute everybody.
Okay, fine. I think everyone's muted. Okay, fine. So says the Gemara, Amar le Rav Nachman Rav Huna, says Rav Nachman to Rav Huna, Lo tiflog ale de Shmuel, don't argue on Shmuel, but she says you're allowed to be metaltel in the entire thing through throwing. The Tanya Kavatek is we have a Braita like him. The Tanya was learned in a Braita. And beta mubet, 42b. Yeah? Moded uba, haya moded uba. Imagine a person's measuring the 2,000 amot, Yeah, there Richard has a picture. The kaltami the tobe and finished in the middle of the city. That's, I don't know if that's that picture. Okay. Mutar letaltel bechol ha'ikula. You're allowed to be metaltel in the entire city. You're not allowed to go through the tchum with your feet. Okay. How are you carrying? Are we not talking about, right, by throwing it? So he says, no, by dragging it. Dragging. Okay.
What is the difference? Huh?
Since it says here, since he didn't have an esek with this beforehand, he wasn't dealing with it, so we're not going to suspect that maybe he's going to go out of the tchum as well.
With the Meshicha?
With Meshicha. But if he already had it in his hand, then we do suspect that he's going to go out with it. Meaning somebody that didn't have it with him, it's over there, he's going to come, he's going to bring it in. He himself is not going to go out of the tchum. But if he already has something in his hand, then we do suspect that he's going to go out of the tchum. Okay? So Amar Ravuna says, what happens if he was modeduba and then it finished in the half of the chatzer? So it says over here, he could only carry in half of the chatzer. Right? So it says the Gemara Pshita, obviously. It says, no, I would have said that he has, right? I would have said that he does have chatzi chatzer. So it says the Gemara, that's also Pshita. It's also obvious. Ma'ud says the Gemara, no. I would have thought to say, Dilma atil, maybe if I'm going to tell you, permit you to carry in half of the courtyard, you're going to carry the entire courtyard. We don't say such a decree. So Amar of Nachman says of Nachman, Modeli Huna haya moded. Modeli Huna, that if he was going to be modeduba, kaltami the tol sfata tikra, and it finished on the border of the house. So the entire house is outside of the tzum, except for the sfata tikra v'lachutz, like the roof and the outside. You're allowed to carry in the entire house. My tama, what's the reasoning? Hoil v'tikrat habayit chovetet. Because we look as if to say that the tikra of the house goes downward. So since the tikra, the roof of the house goes downward, right? So therefore you have that space as well. So Amar Ravuna B'Rav Natan says Rav Natan, Kitanai, it's a machlok Kitanaim. If they took him outside of to another city, and they put him in a barn. You're allowed to do the entire thing. You're allowed to walk. And Kiva says, no, you only have 4 amot. My level, we not that they said that we're not going to make a decree. We don't make a gzera from one hiluch to another hiluch. So too, from tiltul from another tiltul, we're not going to make a gzera. Rabbi Kiva, as they say, he only has 4 amot. Why? Because they do make a gzera hiluch dir v'sahar from a regular hiluch bebika, a regular walking in the valley. And from the walking of the valley, look at the hiluch as we didn't make it. So also tiltul atu hiluch, also we're going to make a decree. Okay, so basically what we're trying to find out is according to this, all the Tanaim of the Mishnah say Mi'ikar Adin is considered mukaf, like 4 amot, even when it's outside of the Tchum. And the machloket is, do we prohibit it because we learn it to a place where there's no mechitzot or not? So says the Gemara, Imai, why do you say this? Dilma kilo gazim gamliel Reb Elazar ben Azariah hiluch by bestar v'dira tu hiluch bebika hanemi lehatam. He says maybe they're not going to make a decree on walking inside of like one of these barns or the other things, or in to do the big cow, the valley, because he says it's different places. And it's 2 different places. Aval tiltul, but to do a tiltul, atu hiluch to mekom echad is the same thing. Chanami de Gaza, so to here we should make a decree. Is that maybe you're going to go after your object, which means if you already have the object in your hand, maybe you're going to carry it outside, and that's going to be a problem. Okay, so says the Gemara, Rabbi Yoshua, Rabbi Kiva Nami, Imai Mishum de Gazehu, because they made a decree. Dilma Mishum because maybe they hold Ki Amninan, Kolabai Kulo, the entire house is going to be for like 4 amot. Hanamile Echad the Shabbat Ba'avi Mechitzot, only if he was inside with his Mechitzot during the day. But here, since he wasn't taking in Shabbat with his Mechitzot around him, we don't say that, and then it's going to be prohibited. Okay? So Amar Rav says, the halacha is like Rabbi Gamliel, The deal with Sarvis is Sfina. Shmuel says, Alachaz of Gamliel only in a Sfina, only in a boat. But in the deal with Sar, the Alachaz is not like Rabbi Gamliel. That means you only have 4 amot, according to that. So it says the Gemara, does everybody agree though, right? That what? The Alachaz of Gamliel and Sfina, my time, what's reasoning? Rabba says, since he was already during the day in a boat where there's mechitzot surrounding him, that's why it's going to be okay. Rabbi Zira says, no. Since the sfina is always moving, right? So therefore, because of that, that's why you're allowed to. Okay? Fine. Now, what's the difference between the two different reasoning? Whether it's because of that there's mechitzot throughout the day when you're on the boat, or whether it is because it's always moving. So you can now the difference between them is if the top wall of the sfina becomes lower, inami or kofetz misfina, you're jumping from one boat to another boat. So in those two cases, again, you have the same concept. And if you're telling me because of mechitzot, it's going to be prohibited. If you're telling me it's because it's always moving, it's permitted. Rabbi Zira, according to Rabbi Zira, my tamalo, why didn't he say like Rabba? Amalecha, he's going to tell you mechitzot of the sfina. Lavriach mayim asuyot is not made for ourselves. It's only just mean that the water doesn't come inside, and that's why it's completely different halachot. Gimel Amud Aleph on the top. Okay, so we finished. So Bezat Hashem, we continue on Monday morning. Bezat Hashem.